We have obtained the creative mind. But before I begin, I want to apologize. Over the past 3 years, you've seen my creations, but I feel bad. I haven't said much about myself, and I feel like you don't really know me. So, here's something a little different. Today, I want to take a step back and tell you my story. So, how did we get here? To begin, we have to go back to December, when my frustrated younger self needed more space to store my armor sets, and wasn't just quite ready to give up carrying my leaflet armor yet. I therefore did what any sane person would do, and spent the next month crafting an intricate system, including visuals, a script, and a full-length production around a wardrobe concept. I also decided to feature another idea, the super duper compactor talisman, which I never really had hope for. My friend Simon DMC Player gave me feedback on this idea. Side note, pay close attention to this Simon guy. Each time I say Simon, I'm referring to my friend Simon DMC Player and not the owner of the server. I published my finished video in January, which collected modest hits. Along with this, I also created a forum post, which received around 300 views. I didn't think much would come from this concept, but above all, I did this for the community. But first, what is the mind? People informed me that if my suggestion was added, I would receive a creative mind, an exceedingly valuable item as a token of appreciation. I didn't expect a creative mind in the slightest. The response from the community was overwhelmingly supportive, and the forum post was well received, which was rare for the forums. I had no idea what was coming. A few uneventful months went by, and my post wasn't gaining much traction. I soon realized that my post wasn't going to be recognized by the admins, which was disappointing. I slowly forgot about the concept, remaining in the back of my mind as that fun little project. I was still proud of the video, as it had, as Simon put it, a high production value. I guess this marked the end of an era for me, transitioning from short map trailers and crappy jokes to actual productions. I knew I would maintain my newfound effort throughout the years to come. After over a month, I woke up to a new SkyBlock update. Of course, I was excited about the pets, but something else caught my eye. At the very bottom of the forum post, there was a note on future content. After all the dungeon information, Jayavarmen writes, and I quote, "We could go on and talk about the dungeon map, exploration, scoring system, and wardrobe." Wardrobe. My heartbeat rose as I sent Simon a screenshot. We were both over the moon. There was still hope for the wardrobe. Unfortunately, this turned out to be a dead end. The months that followed were greeted by silence. Eventually, enough time passed that I assumed I wouldn't receive a creative mind even if the wardrobe was added. I still had hope for the wardrobe being added into the game, which was the main intention of my concept after all. This all changed on the 21st of May when I woke up to this message from Simon. Bro, no way, look, you did it! And what followed was the best tweet that I have ever read. Doctor had tweeted, "Coming soon to an alpha network near you, along with the wardrobe GUI." The layout was pretty much identical to my favorites design, including multiple rows and a full set button. I could barely contain my excitement. I instantly responded with, "Yes, I suggested this a few months ago." I nervously logged on to Hypixel to speak with my Jerry. My trembling hand hovered over the personal deliveries, and to my excitement, I had one unclaimed delivery. Now, I would love to say that my dreams had all come true as I saw the enchanted painting appear in my deliveries, that I claimed the creative mind and was swarmed in my friends' support, that the admins congratulated my efforts as I told them how I looked up to them, that the wardrobe was added and the community embraced my idea to make SkyBlock a better place. But that's not what happened. To my dismay, nothing but stashed ender pearls appeared in my deliveries that day. I quickly edited my original forum post to link the tweet, which ended up getting some attention from the community. But more than anything, I wanted the admins to see my concept video. I look up to them all, and working at Hypixel is my dream job. So, as my original response got some attention, I wanted to contact Doctor, and for that I went to the SkyBlock Discord for help. I Apparently, you are not allowed to ping an admin, but could DM Doctor on Twitter, Discord, or even the forums. Coincidentally, Doctor turned off public DMs on every platform just 3 days before posting his tweet. I decided to reach out to other admins such as Minicloon. Again, I wanted Minicloon to see my video more than anything else. I didn't hear back from Minicloon after 24 hours, so I tried a second SkyBlock admin, Jayavarmen. Again, I didn't get a response. But shortly after, Simon saved the day once again. He noticed that my forum post received a mod emerald, a reaction that only mods can give. Fortunately, I could see which mod gave this award, which turned out to be Chan Doggy, an old friend of mine from his helper days. Well, at least I knew him. Either way, I figured that he may be able to get in touch with an admin. He got back to me quickly, saying that he enjoyed my concept, but didn't think I was going to get a creative mind. The wardrobe had been an idea long before I suggested it. This made sense to me. The admins planned for this feature ahead of time, in the same way that a second foraging revamp is planned for 2021. My wardrobe concept began to spike in popularity, reaching 1,000 views on the forums. Even if my concept wasn't going to be recognized by an admin, it at least brought some joy to the community. The next day, I logged onto the forums to see a DM notification. My heart rose once more to see I had a message from Jayavarmen. I quickly sent a screenshot to Simon. Jayavarmen had responded with, "The wardrobe was planned even before the release of the game, but I do think you deserve a creative mind. Add me on Discord. And let me know what your Discord IGN is so I add the right one." Basically, the wardrobe had been planned since the start of the game, as I suspected. Despite this, Jayavarmen still said that I deserve a creative mind. This was a token of appreciation for my effort, not the idea itself. I was so grateful that Jaya viewed my concept. I instantly replied with my Discord and a corny message which, in hindsight, I regret. Unfortunately, he was no longer online and I had just missed him the previous night. The next day consisted of me constantly refreshing the Hypixel forums in hopes for a response. During online learning, of course. By the end of the day, I had received no further response on the forums or Discord. 24 hours passed, and then 36, to no avail. After exactly 48 hours, I followed up with the message, "Gib CMRN or I shoot." What I actually said was, "Hi Jaya, just following up on the wardrobe. Thank you again for checking out my concept. Once again, I understand if I cannot get a creative mind, but it would be great if you could let me know. I understand you're busy with more important things, sorry to bother you. Thanks." Almost immediately after, I received a DM from Jaya. "Hey, you around?" I rushed to respond, and the next thing I knew he was telling me to visit his island. I load up Minecraft as fast as one possibly can with the 2015 iMac, and visit Jaya. I say hello, and Jaya sends me a trade request. I accept to see him adding a creative mind to the trade menu. I accept, he accepts, and the creative mind was acquired. But I didn't want the story to end here. I had loved this experience so much. In a way, it had given me a taste of what being a developer felt like. Of course, the admins actually have to implement the features, and I did nowhere near as much work as any admin does daily. Nonetheless, I told Jaya how he and the rest of the Hypixel team inspires me, and how working at Hypixel would be my dream job. I thanked him for always providing a selfless solution to every problem, and he gave me a heart. This was a surreal experience, and I thank each and every one of you who liked my posts or helped me throughout this journey. On the 1st of June, Hypixel rolled out the wardrobe update. It wasn't everything I'd put into my concept, but I think it was better this way. Sometimes less is more. 4 days later, while writing the script for this video, I wake up to this message from Simon. "Bruh, no way. Again? Come on. How? Why? What?" Not a thing. That's not a thing. But this was in fact a thing. Minicloon leaked an upcoming feature, a talisman that was almost identical to my super duper compactor talisman. As Simon continued to have a mental breakdown, I checked the legitimacy of this image. I couldn't believe that both of the 2 suggestions I made in my video were being implemented into the game. I quickly messaged Jaya to ask him if this was inspired by my concept or was planned beforehand, simply out of curiosity. He got back to me quickly, stating it was suggested the first week after release, but they didn't have a good reason to add it back then. This was the same feeling as before, Dèja Vu from the wardrobe, and I loved it. The law of the creative mind was changed just a few days before I received it, and I was therefore one of the first people to see it. Maybe that has something to do with me. I don't know. Maybe. I'm just saying. I realized that I owed a lot of my success to Simon. He was my notifier, my messenger, and above all, my friend. He asked to borrow the creative mind for a screenshot, which my naive self accepted. In hindsight, it would have been completely reasonable to decline his request and avoid the abomination that is about to unfold. No problem, just give it back in a minute or two.
Time to hand it back. And so, I put the item in the trade menu, but then I realize material wealth is more important than friendship. What am I doing? No, that item is mine.
Did that really just happen? That was a skit, of course. Go check out Simon's video on the creative mind, the first link in the description.
And now it's finally time to display it. Boom and boom.
As my post-wardrobe high started to dissolve, I was faced with a decision, whether to sell or keep the creative mind. Several factors influenced my decision to sell it. I hope you can understand and respect my decision for the following reasons. Many people helped me along this journey, such as Pindex, DLM1, and most importantly, Simon. I felt as if I owe these people something, as a token of appreciation, which I simply can't give with just one item. Secondly, there is no real good place to store the creative mind. Keeping it in my inventory or ender chest just gives me constant anxiety, while putting it in an item frame risks it being deleted from the common entity glitch. The best solution is to store it in a chest, where it is meaningless to me. Most importantly, although it is nice to have the creative mind sitting in a chest, it means nothing to you guys. Selling it would provide me with the budget to create bigger, better videos. And finally, I've constructed a display case containing a painting which I've retextured to look enchanted, so that despite not owning the actual creative mind, we can always remember what once was. The creative mind can still live on in our hearts. Now, the only question was how I would sell it. Whenever receiving an offer, I first do what I always do and play innocent. I pretend to not know the value of the item and offer an extremely low price. I would never sell it at this price, but this was to simply test the buyer's morality. It isn't technically wrong to take it at this low price, but I would trust the buyer a whole lot more if they were to tell me that I could get a lot more for it. I first received an offer from a Discord account named Ha. He initially proposed 200 million. However, I wasn't focusing on his offer, as something else caught my eye instead. I looked up at my PC to see that Ha was visiting my island, and that's when it hit me. This was the real Ha. The number 3 in the Skywars tournament Ha. The celebrity video for Simon creator Ha. The owner of OFN, the offensive guild, the 10th highest guild Ha. I was dealing with a professional. He made a final offer of 250 million, and I once again contacted Simon. We eventually decided to turn down Ha, convinced we could get more from the auction house. The next offer I received was from a well-known player from an extremely well-known island that will remain nameless. For the purpose of this video, let's just call him Hunter. I found Hunter to be very manipulative, trying to get me to sell the creative mind at the extremely low price of 150 million. He tried to convince me that the other 100 million that I would have received had I auctioned it would be a donation to his island. Apparently, this wasn't even such a large sum, since he had allegedly received a donation of over 350 million once. Hunter tried to eliminate any other competition by creating allegations against Ha, which is a different conversation. He even played on my emotions by stating, "I've already told the co-op, so please don't let me down." I quickly turned him down, and with that, I officially decided to sell the creative mind on the auction house. This was a sad moment. I hadn't realized how much this set of 151 pixels had meant to me, until I had to let them go. My sadness was soon replaced with awe, as the creative mind was almost instantly bid up to 50 million coins and 18th from the auction house. Within a day, it rose to 200 million coins and number 3 in the auction house, ironically by another OFN member, Poison. In the last hour, it rose from 200 million to 250 million, ultimately going to Poison. The miracle was that there was just an hour gap between when the first place auction ended and when the creative mind, which was at second place, ended. So we barely reached number 1 in the auction house for just under an hour. This was crazy to me, since the number 1 spot almost always belongs to a 700 million legendary Ender Dragon. During the 5 days when I was actually relevant, I constantly had guests on my island asking how I got the creative mind. I satisfied these news reporters by placing signs explaining my story. I now even hold a place on the SkyBlock wiki, permanently engraved into Hypixel history. I was even noticed by a few celebrities. Refraction inadvertently suggested that I join SkyBlock Nerds, a Discord server for admins and select people to discuss ideas for SkyBlock. I've heard no response from Jaya, so consider this my informal application. Anyway, take a look.
What's the patch? I'm not telling you. If you want to see, there's a lot of... I'm not an update YouTuber, okay? So if you want to know what the update is, I'm not going to show you every 2 seconds. And I guarantee you, there's at least 5 YouTubers who made a video about a wardrobe already. Listen, you see what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this one is trash. 5, there you go.
He has the creative mind, dude. Hang on. I haven't seen one in person. I've only seen them on video. Oh, that is hot. That is hot. I shall have to get me one of those. I got invited to SkyBlock Nerds. Mimi Big Boy. Oh, he just threw the... Bruh. Eureka picked up the thing is, it's alright though. It means I can suggest things and get a creative mind like this, man. I can have that fancy item. I mean, obviously I have to suggest something good, so give me good suggestions, chat. And I will take all of the credit so I can have a fancy cosmetic item in SkyBlock that I will probably never use. Want a creative mind? That is a big flex. I mean, if you're willing to give your creative mind, that would be incredible. I can't afford to buy one if you're trying to sell it. Oh, it's on your EurekaX. I spelt your name wrong. I'm an idiot. There you go. There's no way, man. I'm not paying over 200 mil for a cosmetic. Miss me with that. I'm in SkyBlock Nerds. I'll just pray that one of my suggestions gets added. What did you add? What did you suggest that got added? I'm curious.
As it turns out, Poison put the creative mind back up on the auction house only a few days later for a bin of 310 million coins. He soon cancelled this bin and sold it to an unknown individual for 275 million coins. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the buyer, so the fate of the creative mind remains an unsolved mystery. After receiving 250 million coins, I had to make a plan on how to spend my newfound riches. Plus, I already had 30 million saved up thanks to my very active court member. 40 million will go to Simon for his constant support and help. 20 million will be split for the other people who helped me along this journey. 60 million will be spent on superior dragon armor, and the final 60 million will go towards future videos and giveaways. To ensure the safety of the creative mind while I had it, I made sure that retrieving it was an extremely long and convoluted process. This was completely unnecessary, but enjoy the montage. I love this process so much, and I know I want to do it again, but better. I have concepts I want to create, stories that I want to tell. So, hi, I'm Eureka, and I don't know how you ended up here, but I'm glad you have, and I hope you stick around. See you next eternity.